This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. Let's talk about what happens next on the show. It's a contingent of SmackDown invaders led by Kurt Angle. They're going to arrive at the Hammerstein Ballroom, sit in a private balcony. And, before finding their seats, the SmackDown crew is cursed at by the ECW fans. There's a huge "fuck you SmackDown" chant that starts up. Joel Gertner makes his first appearance of the night, and he's quickly kicked out of the private seats by JBL. And then Angle takes the mic and runs down the ECW product and its fans before turning the mic over to JBL, who runs down the quote unquote internet fans for talking to their friends about the product in between visiting porn sites. The fans are all over him here, chanting, "Shut the fuck up." And JBL says, "I'm a wrestling god. You can do your little chants and root for your people, but nobody in that ring will ever make it to my level. Nobody. So get your little chants and your little loser buddies and get on the internet and tell them that this guy who sold out arenas all over the world told you that. We will sell pay-per-views because I am here, not because of the crap in the ring." This is really great heat shit. And it feels like it's got Vince McMahon's fingerprints all over it. If you had to guess, you would probably be inclined to think that that's Vince at his best, right?
I think that that's probably a combination of everybody. I think Paul felt that as well. And this was a way, if you're going to be a heel to that audience, be a heel to that audience and attack them where it hurts. And when they have to look at themselves in the mirror and go, "Oh shit, he may be right," that's the best kind of heat.
Rob Van Dam interrupts all of this with Bill Alfonso by his side and says the WWE contingent that came to the show, well, you should know that people are tuning in at home to see ECW, not these wrestlers that they're tired of having shoved down their throats. And RVD indicates that he was working without any quote unquote creative geniuses, and he's shooting straight from his heart. And he says his greatest moments in professional wrestling came in ECW. And he was proud when he was the TV champion and had the opportunity to give fans a great show. And he takes credit for coming up with the pay-per-view concept that we're enjoying right now, and says that he pitched this ECW reunion show to Vince, who agreed that it was a good idea. And he's hobbled here. He's on one knee. So he's emotionally hurt, not being able to wrestle because of the knee surgery. And then of course, because we know that he's hurt, here comes Rhyno, and he's going to gore RVD. The lights go out, and when they come back on, very old school style, Sabu standing in the ring. Man, so cool. A fun little moment here. A way to introduce Sabu, do the whole lights on, lights off gimmick, and give Rob a little bit of TV time. He's got to be pretty tore up that this thing was all sort of his idea, and now he can't have a traditional match because of the leg injury. You know what ECW meant to Rob. That's a pretty devastating deal to him, was it not?
Yeah, it was. It really was. And this was probably one of Rob's best promos of his career. Came from the heart. And you felt that disappointment that Rob was feeling. So it was very well done and put a spotlight where a spotlight needed to be.
What'd you think of, we know that a year from now, Vince is really going to go with Rob, but do you think Rob just going out here and doing a really long promo that's unscripted, just from his heart, and seeing the way the crowd responds, do you think that sort of allowed Vince to turn the corner on him? Like maybe Vince saw Rob in a different light here,
Yeah, you got to see Rob's true personality come out, and you got to see that, he's not just a laid back stoner guy, and that there was an audience that related to that.
The WWE version of Rob Van Dam had just been cool and whatever, and sort of the stoner attitude, like you said. So this to me is sort of, probably a pivotal moment in Rob's career, at least when it comes to Vince McMahon's perception of him. But as we said, it leads to a match here. Sabu with Bill Alfonso and RVD, of course, there to support him, taking on Rhyno. Sabu picks up the win in 6 minutes and 27 seconds with an Arabian skull crusher through a table. It's what's described as another crazy high octane spot fest. We should mention Rhyno was fired right after WrestleMania of this year. So a few months prior to this. We haven't ever really talked about that. Do you remember the circumstances around Rhyno's dismissal and why ultimately he was able to come back here?
I do not, but I know that, coming back here, I think that as far as talent to be used in this pay-per-view, if they meant something to ECW, then they were going to be back. And as long as they all agreed and it worked for the show.
I think the rumor and innuendo that was reported at the time was Rhyno had maybe some sort of, an argument with a spouse or something in the lobby at WrestleMania and gets frustrated and picks up a giant pot and crushes it or something. But it was the sort of negative attention that WWE would want to always avoid, but especially WrestleMania weekend. Does any of that ring a bell, or could I have just made that up?
Yeah, I think you're mixing your stories up with people.
Okay. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.